And welcome back to Premier League Today, where we're reflecting on the end of the summer transfer window. And yesterday, on deadline day, this man's return was confirmed.
Yes, he's back in Manchester. He's back at Old Trafford. The triumphant return of Simon Crabtree. Hello, Simon.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. You're nothing if not predictable, Ian Irving.
Can we talk about Ronaldo? Has the excitement died down yet?
No, as it heck. No, and it's only going to ramp up until they actually see him in Manchester United colours here inside Old Trafford. We're actually here with Jay Motti, who viewers of the Stretford Paddock, the YouTube channel, will I'm sure recognise. So, from a United fan's perspective, rather than with your broadcaster hat on, how did you feel when you were told, actually, Ronaldo's coming back?
It was just an unbelievable feeling. The way it happened as well, because at one point it looked like he was going to go to Manchester City. There was all those rumours coming out, stories that actually it looks like he is going to be heading to the Etihad, and that made me feel a bit sick. Imagining him in that blue shirt, I was like, oh, I can't cope with this one. And then for it to do that sort of about face, and it looked like, actually he's not going to City, he's coming back to United, and it all happened so quickly. It went from sort of Thursday afternoon he's going to City to Friday afternoon the club are tweeting he's coming back to United. It was just a fantastic feeling because you've got that relief and then that jubilation about seeing Ronaldo back here at Old Trafford in a red shirt.
And it's 12 years since he played here at Old Trafford. There's a whole new generation of Man United supporters out there who've never seen him in a United shirt and yet still absolutely love him. So when he left, how does he manage to keep that reputation here despite going to one of your big European rivals?
I think if you look at what he achieved when he was here, 3 Premier League titles on the trot, the Champions League, winning the Ballon d'Or here as well as a Manchester United player. And then when he did leave, he wanted to leave, I think, a season earlier. Everyone knew that. He stayed that extra season, got us to the Champions League final, won us the Premier League title, then goes for big money. So there's not really any animosity there. You get a big fee for him. He wins you loads of trophies. When he came back here, as you mentioned, he came back here. I was here for the Real Madrid game where he got a sort of fantastic reception, maybe a bit too good. He ended up scoring against us. I was here for the Juventus game as well when he was here, and again, he said that in his statement, I think. He's always had that affinity with the fans because we respect what he did for us, and also the fact that it might sound a little bit cheesy, but almost a privilege to see such a good player playing for your club, one of the best ever. We saw him play for our club, and I feel sort of grateful for that in a way. So yeah, there's always been that sort of love for Cristiano Ronaldo from most United fans, well, all United fans really.
Just as an overview in terms of the summer signings for Manchester United. So Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, and we saw the reception that he got when he came in. Tom Heaton, of course, as a goalkeeper, and then Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, if you take Ronaldo out of that, does it feels like a very different transfer window, doesn't it? Despite the fact that Sancho and Varane will add a lot to United. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was the way that those transfers happened, because they happened at the beginning of the window. We know Jadon Sancho was a long-term target. We always expected that one. Varane a little bit more surprising, but happened relatively quickly. Then you had this gap where there wasn't anything, and you think, if we don't get another player in, you'll almost feel a little bit underwhelmed, or like there's something missing. So to get Ronaldo, which was a complete surprise, I don't think anyone expected that to happen, is the icing on the cake. There will be some fans, and I know I've spoke to some fans who are like saying, well, why haven't we got a midfielder? We need a defensive midfielder. But if you'd have said to me at the beginning of the window, we'll end up with Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo and a backup keeper in Tom Heaton, I'd have taken that, to be honest with you. I think that's a pretty good transfer window.
Right, Manchester United, though, were the second biggest, spenders of the window. So let's take a look at who splashed the most cash this summer. As you can see there, Man United in second, 119.2 million, but it was Arsenal that had a record-breaking window. They've spent £142 million. Well, let's bring in Simon Collins now. Oh, not sure we're doing that. We are going to bring in Simon. Sorry about that. Back and forth a little bit here. But let's bring in Simon. There he is. We wondered if you were going to join us. Thankfully, you have. But look, we've just seen Arsenal there, £142 million. Is it money well spent?
I think we're going to have to wait and see if it's money well spent. It's certainly long-term planning from Arsenal. I think there's an acceptance at the club that they need to look to the future and not focus so much on the here and now. I think in the past, they've looked too short-term with signings. And this summer, they've said, look, let's build a project. Let's look long-term. And the fact they've signed no one over the age of 23 suggests this is a window for the future.
Well, they did bring someone in yesterday in the form of Takehiro Tomiyasu. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, I mean, this was a position Arsenal wanted a right-back all window. They'd struggled to find someone who fit the mould of what they want, and they needed to get someone out the door, so they got Bellerin to Betis. And Tomiyasu he's a very tall player. He's 6'2". He's powerful. He's good with both feet. And I think what Arteta likes is players that are tactically astute and versatile, and he will provide that to the team and hopefully get a bit of balance, because anyone who's watched Arsenal over the past 6 months has known it all comes down Kieran Tierney's side, and hopefully now they can spread the load a bit between that left and right flank.
I'm delighted to say we're joined in the studio by the former Norwich striker, Darren Huckabee. Darren, welcome. What
have you made of Norwich's start to the season? And is it fair to perhaps cast judgment right now, bearing in mind the fixtures they've had to perhaps other newly promoted sides?
It's probably not fair to judge them too harshly. They played Man City, who can beat anyone 5-0 like they did against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they played Liverpool with a fully fit squad and Van Dijk back. So I think it's going to be important what happens now. So obviously the Arsenal next, which is, they're struggling, so you try and get some points here. But it's going to be teams that are around us near the bottom of the table that's going to count. So it's not the great start, but we've made a few signings and hopefully we can push on.
Yeah, you say about the signings there. Have they done enough in your mind? Ozan Kabak, of course, who was at Liverpool last year, joined on deadline day. That should make a difference, shouldn't it?
Yeah, any kind of player, just to bolster up the squad. Scholes has come in and done okay. Sargent's come, so that's a bit of a rest for Pookie if he needs it. So it's not perfect, but we spent a lot of money for Norwich. I think it's over £50 million. So any club who's coming up and spending that kind of money, it gives you a little bit of a chance. More
than last time as well, because Norwich was sort of scrutinised for the fact that they didn't spend a lot last time they came into the Premier League and went straight back down. So is this a sort of change in thinking from the club, do you think?
Probably not too much of a change. They've probably pushed the boat out a little bit more, but also looked at if we go down that we don't ruin the club. So it's very important that we do push on, but also probably build on year and try and progress that way.
Do you believe that Norwich can stay up this season?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I honestly do believe it, but it's going to take everything to go for us. We've got to keep everyone fit. When we do get chances, we've got to take them. And like I say, it's only about finishing 17th. It's not about finishing top 10. It's not about pushing for Europe. It's about finishing 17th. And with the players we've got, we've given ourselves a chance.
Yeah, by a point, goal difference, goal scored,
anything.
Whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Any kind of tap in, own goal, it don't matter as long as you stay up.
Absolutely, right. Let's talk about one of your other old teams then, in Manchester City, of course. Very different ambitions for them this season. And a different transfer window, actually, as well. Of course, much publicised fight for Harry Kane and for Cristiano Ronaldo as well. But the one player they did get in, not bad, the first ever £100 million English footballer in Jack Grealish. What do you think about what they've done this summer at City?
Considering how good the squad is already, they didn't need 5 or 6 players. They're not on Arsenal who need 10 players. They need 1 or 2 players. They managed to get probably the most exciting young player in the country, Jack Grealish. Obviously, they wanted a centre forward. They didn't get that one, but they've also got players that can play there. Last season won the league without a centre forward. Aguero hardly played, so they've got players who can play up there. Will they probably in for somebody in January? Probably, but I'm sure they've got the players that can do enough now till January to get the points they need.
I think they're all right, aren't they?
Yeah, Jack Grealish's had a couple of games under his belt. What have you seen he's brought to that Manchester City side, and what do you see Pep doing with him going forward?
They play so many games, the top teams, and obviously Europe's going to be a big part. But you've also got Sterling, who plays out there in the same position. You've got Mahrez on the other side, Jesus, who apparently don't want to be a centre forward anymore, so he's going to be on the right. So they've got many players who can play in different positions, and if you've got a really strong squad, that's what you need to do. You need to rotate it. Every other team in the Premier League would want their players they've got. So, I shouldn't think you should feel too sorry for City at the minute.
Well, we've been asking viewers today who's been the summer signing for them. Who is it for you?
I would probably say Grealish.
Yeah.
I would say Grealish because that's the one that everyone was looking at.
Darren said Grealish there. Kenny says Sancho. Lancer says Saul as well, who was a late addition, of course, on deadline day. Yeah,
then Anish Saul, we're adding a winner, a man who's gone through adversity and tough times. And yeah, looking forward to seeing him. Darren, thank you. That's all we've got time for. Thanks for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time on Premier League Today.
Bye-bye.